But it's true that most of us are capable of making large changes in our lives, and if we can't do that in one day, we can definitely do it in every day. Like I said, Aristotle says this: excellence is a habit, therefore we are what we repeatedly do. Or the other way around, we are what we repeatedly do, excellence therefore is a habit. Take it how you will. Carpe diem works out too, but it's too loose. You still got to follow a framework. So 2019. And at a certain point, you know, you've got your next 5 years mapped out. You still got to go by the advice of Warren Buffett. All the things you want to do, make the top 10 list in your life. The top 10 things you want to do, say in the next month, in the next year, in your lifetime. How are you going to accomplish those top 10? And there's a speech out there during the Berkshire Hathaway conventions where somebody gave that answer and said, well, I would do this and focus on that and then work on that in my spare time and blah, blah. Not Warren Buffett. He says, okay, make a top 10 list, cross out the bottom 9, focus on the first. I believe in that quite a bit. I can only do one thing at a time. Multitasking doesn't exist. I can multitask. I can hold my mouse and my knife at the same time, you know, and try to do that while typing, but ultimately it's still sequential. Life is still sequential, for our minds anyway. The philosophy of the universe is different. There's no future, there's no past, there's just our concepts of right now, with projections of the future and memories of the past. But when it comes down to everyday life, I think, try to get that one small victory every day. Maybe you can have 2, 3, 4 victories every day. Like I just got a VPN installed on my laptop. Woo! Do I hate it? Yes. Because I don't like VPN very much. Don't tell anybody I said that. I love VPN. Doesn't matter. But the thing with VPN is that it's so limiting. Phones don't carry VPN most of the time. There are clients on there. Not every software vendor cooperates with every operating system. So, an Android OS trying to VPN into a Sonic wall is sometimes just not possible. It'd be nice if they could, and I always complain when they can't. 2021. I already have draft 5 kind of framed out, right? And I'm going to take the notes of this and redraft it. Still the same contents, it's just a different draft. I paint a picture that's a little different to myself. But on November 1, I get to start school. What are the steps I have to take before starting school? Oh, there's nothing shameful about drawing an arrow and saying submits transcripts. If this is the most important thing on my entire list, I could quit here. I could say, well, this is my to-do list. Or I could say that this is my goal vision board. Whatever people want to call it. My intention is to take the next 50 years of my thought process, commit it down on paper again, and break down the pieces again until the pieces fit. If you guys know the song by, I think it's Tool, I know the pieces fit because I watch them fall away. I know what has fallen away. It's just in the future. I just have to make it fall backwards and make it into today's processes. And I know that's kind of high level and weird, but there's no shame in thinking backwards and forwards, sideways, upside down, inside out. There's also no shame in reading and taking in the philosophies of everybody who has had anything to say in life. Because most humans have capacity to really think very largely and share their thoughts. We're missing out when we don't get that chance to participate. It's like what you remember Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson? He basically starts out, I think, in one of the first episodes about how hieroglyphics in the pyramids are a way to transport ourselves through time. We can listen, you look at the Bible is 2,000 years old or older. The Quran, same age or older. Some of the Some of the scriptures from the Eastern philosophies, just as old. What is happening there? Humans from 2,000 years ago are speaking to us through time. You know, so I'm paraphrasing based on that first episode of Cosmos. But you can speak to yourself through time. This video is one way to do that. I know it's all electrons in the end being stored on magnetic components. Unless, you know, in 5 years, if this is being viewed on a quantum computing memory storage device, that will be real interesting. I'd like to see that. So anyway, as a kind of a first video, I started out telling you a little bit about how I process things. My goal today is to get rid of all this paperwork by either achieving it, getting it into Remember the Milk, and then achieving more and achieving more based on just tracking everything I think about and everything I do, the stuff that requires my attention. Not the stuff that doesn't. I cross that out and I trash it. Sometimes an idea was dumb and I throw it out. Volume does matter in that respect. So I am going to try to have a much more interesting video for you next time. But I do appreciate you sitting down with me and letting me share my thoughts. Take good care of yourself.